It's that time once again. The 5 biggest things that still won't be in Madden this year. Every year around this time, we start hearing tons of news about the upcoming Madden game, and we're always looking to see, are some of our favorite features going to finally return to the game? Are some of the things that people have been asking for that were removed years ago for unknown reasons, are they finally going to make their way back into the game? And every year, we're typically disappointed that some of the biggest things on our list, for whatever reason, still have not made their way back to the game. So it's time to cover all of those things in today's video. In case you were wondering if the game is for you this year, do you want to buy the game? You might not know some of these things are still not back in the game, so I'll let you in on the 5 biggest things. Now, if you are new to the channel and you want to stay up to date on all the latest Madden 21 news, especially the gameplay that I should be able to drop for you guys in the next few days or so, should be having some gameplay that's getting released. If you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe, make sure to turn the bell on so that you don't miss that when it comes out, because you want to be up to date and you want to see these things so that you know if you want to get the game or not, right? Now let's get into the list. Number 1, the biggest thing, I covered it in last year's video. Unfortunately, I have to cover it again this year too. Assistant coaches, coordinators, coaching carousel, whatever you want to label it as, this will still not be in Madden. This won't be in Madden 21, and I hate that I have to cover this for the 2nd year in a row. We don't know why this was ever really removed from the game, and when you look at games like NCAA 14, for example, which was created by EA, they nailed this in their Dynasty mode. It was one of the best parts of the game, the coaching carousel, the coaching skill trees. If you're not familiar with it, there's tons of YouTube videos you could watch on it, but this was one of the most in-depth things for assistant coaches that I've ever seen in a video game. And, you know, these coaches, you know, they can move around. You can lose coaches to other schools. You could be coordinators and jump around to different schools. You develop these coaching skill trees that would affect your team. I mean, it was coaching done right. And the fact that EA Sports was able to do it, and not just EA Sports, right? The actual people themselves inside EA Sports that worked on NCAA 14, a lot of these same people work on the franchise team for Madden. So it's not that they can't do it. The question is, why isn't it there? We don't know, but it still won't be in Madden 21. So if this was a make or break feature for you, then Madden 21 is probably not going to be the game for you. However, the one silver lining to this one is that EA did just recently come out and they laid out some of the stuff that they're looking to do for Madden 22, because there's been a big uproar in the franchise community about the game mode not getting like adequate updates. So they kind of were forced to come out and say, look, we're going to commit. This is what we're looking to do. And they did mention for Madden 22, one of the big things they're looking to adding is assistant coaches. Now, will they do it as in depth as they did in NCAA 14? Well, time can only tell when it comes to that, but it does look like that could be on the horizon. But as far as Madden 21, it still won't be in the game. Today's video is sponsored by Manscaped, the only brand dedicated to men's below-the-waist grooming and hygiene. Look, if you've been around my channel for any amount of time, you already know that I'm a huge fan of Manscaped and their Perfect Package 3.0 kit, which comes with the new Lawnmower 3.0 water-resistant body trimmer, the only trimmer on the market that has advanced skin-safe technology, meaning you won't get all those cuts and nicks and snags on your precious jewels and end up looking like this goofy guy right here. The kit also comes with a slew of other products like Crop Preserver, Crop Reviver, and for a limited time when you order at manscaped.com, you get 2 free gifts, the Shed Travel Bag and the High Performance Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs, which is honestly my favorite part of the entire kit. If you're going to put all this time into manscaping your downstairs, you don't just want to go throw on any old raggedy boxers. That just ain't how you do it. The fabric on these are super soft and it keeps you cool and dry all day long. Visit manscaped.com/Eric20 to get 20% off plus free shipping instantly at checkout. No promo code needed. Order today and you'll also get your 2 free gifts, the Shed Travel Bag and the High Performance Boxers. Your balls will thank you. Number 2 on the list, there will be no full superstar mode once again. Now, the last time this was in the game, I believe, was Madden 12. Now, sure, you can create a player in franchise mode and control any position, but it's not superstar mode. You pretty much just play a player lock the entire time in franchise mode. There's no storyline. There's no extra stuff, combine, all of that. However, yes, the face of the franchise mode is back in the game for the 2nd year in a row, but just like last year, you could only be a quarterback. This year, you can only be a quarterback, running back, or wide receiver. So they have expanded it a little bit, but it's still not the superstar mode that most people have been wanting to come back, meaning that you could play any position. This means offensive line, D-line, kicker, defensive back, whatever, fullback. That's not back in the game. You can only play the 3 positions and have the storylines. Now, the face of the franchise does sound like it's going to be good this year with the 3 positions. It sounds like a lot of storylines. You get to start in high school, go to college, go to the NFL, and there's going to be storylines in NFL. Cool, but until they're able to do that type of depth for every position, people are not going to feel like it's completely worth it, because some people want to be the kicker, some people want to be on the offensive line, heck, some people even want to be punters and long snappers. It's true. Probably not a lot of people, but there's people that want to. So there is still no full superstar mode in the game. You have the face of the franchise, which is limited to 3 positions, and then you have the player lock style career mode in franchise, which is just that. It's player lock. You have no storyline, you have no extras, you're just playing on a team. You're basically playing franchise mode and you're just controlling one player, and there's nothing extra. So if you were looking for that to be back in the game this year, it's still not there. Number 3 on the list, I have to talk about this for the 2nd year in a row too. Create a team. There is still no creative team in the game. This is one of the biggest features. People are dying to come back. People loved creating their team name, being able to design their own custom uniforms with all the crazy colors possible, and then designing the stadium, choosing the city they wanted to play in. It was great. This was one of the best features about old Maddens. Now, yes, we have relocation teams in the game, but they've been the same, I think, since Madden 15. They've been very bland, not many options. This is another thing EA recently did come out and say that they're looking to expand upon this. I think that might be something they're trying to do this year. Maybe it's next year. It's one of these 2 years. It'll come in an update later this year if it is for Madden 21. Basically expanding the relocation options where they'll give you more logos and team names and cities and stuff to choose from, which is nice. At least they're expanding it, but it's still not the true creative team that everybody wants, where they can control every little thing. Now, I do believe the NFL might have a hand in this one. We don't know the full story. We've heard conflicting things about it, but I would bet the NFL might have a small hand in this one. I know they don't want the actual real teams that are in the game to be edited. An example that they've used in the past is they don't want to see the Raiders with a pink helmet, right? They don't want to compromise the real teams and their look and their name and their logos, which is fine, but I think EA would still be able to put an actual creative team suite in the game and just have it to where you can't edit current teams, but you can create fully new teams. They still haven't done it. It will not be in Madden 21. Number 4 on the list is minicamp. This is something I've been wanting to see in the game for years. Now, I'm not a big franchise mode player, but this is one of those types of features that might bring me back to the mode. Not because of minicamp in itself, but because of the mini games, the drills. Now, we do have certain types of mini games back in Madden and other modes, or forms of mini games in a sense at times, but not the true mini games that were in minicamp back in the older Maddens, where you had rushing attack and you had the DB drills, you had the pocket QB drills, you had the DB rush drills. Those were tons of fun, and sometimes people would just play those drills just for fun. And that is something we wanted to see back in franchise mode and just back in the game in general, to play as like a little side thing to kill time, or to actually use in franchise or career mode to upgrade players. That is still not coming back to the game this year, and there's been no mention of it coming for next year either. So this one might be a while before we ever see that back in Madden. And last but not least on the list, number 5. This is a funny one. I had to throw this one in here. I could have went with a few other things, but I had to go with this one. Referees. The referees are still not in Madden 21. Now, the funny thing is, these were just removed last year. They'd been in the game every year until Madden 20, and then when Madden 20 came out, everybody was like, why aren't there referees on the field? This is kind of weird, right? You still have referees in cutscenes when penalties actually happen. They have the up close of the referee doing the penalty, but in terms of the actual game taking place, there's no referee on the field when you're actually playing the game, running the football, passing the football. There's no refs. They were taken out last year. They still don't appear to be back in Madden 21. Now, the reason they took them out, one of the biggest reasons, they said, like they say for a lot of times when they take things out of the game, it was a memory issue. When they added the new abilities to the game, they said when the abilities are activating during the gameplay, they would lag. The game would get kind of choppy, and they had to remove something to kind of compensate for all these new abilities being active on the field. So they decided to take the referees out. They probably thought most people won't notice, because honestly, I didn't notice until people pointed it out. I don't tend to notice a lot of those little detail type things like that. I just play the game and that's it. But everybody else, instantly noticed it, and that's why they were removed. Now, however, I do think they'll probably be back on Madden 21 on next gen, because on next gen, the memory shouldn't be an issue. They have all this new memory unlocked, these powerful systems. They should be adding all of those attention to detail things back on next gen, because that shouldn't be an issue. So they may come on next gen, but for the current gen version that's about to release in a few weeks, there's still no referees on the field in Madden. So if it's in the game, it's not always in the game when it comes to Madden, as we've come to learn. So that is going to be it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.